Alrighty, y'all. Peaceful greetings. Peace and love to you all. Man, trying to get the sound bite up, but my phone is like frozen. Like, I can't even
Wow.
see it. There we go. Okay, there we go. But how are you all doing today on this lovely moon day? Right? Pause me here. Right? How you doing this lovely moon day? And I am brother Sean ill. All is well. And bro, what was that, bro? That y'all gave me. What was that?
Braveheart, Braveheart. That's always fun. Right, you.
And I am here with my bro, the living master, and he is.
You're too much. All righty. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Let's get it for the solar eclipse, man. I yield.
Yeah, this is, man, it's like Goku when he figured out how to do Ultra Instinct, right? Was feeling a charge, a surge of energy, and yeah, I was just did a little bit of research too, and on just kind of like any eclipses that happen around this 29-degree area, and I think there was like one in like 1600s or something like that. But yeah, we're about to get into the solar eclipse, guys. This Arian total solar eclipse. But before we get into that, I actually got a couple different couple things to read for you. So without further ado, I will get this started just to give you a real feel, of what's to come. So coming from the one-on-one questionnaire, right? Number 6, what is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifest in flesh, right? You can do number 7. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations or mothers from the wrath of Allah or all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac, right? And so then let me hit that. And then we're gonna go to Metaphysical Bible Dictionary first. Does everyone want to go? Yeah, we're gonna go there first. Yay! So we're gonna come to firstly here, right? So actually, pardon me, let me hit full screen. That man. Zoom in. Whoa.
Wow.
All right, and we're gonna come first to where is that at? Okay, nope, this other page up. Hey, man, stay on this page and scroll.
Roll along.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna go first to Levites, right? Because I was gonna read priests, but priests sent me here. So Levites from Hebrew, of or belonging to Levi, descendants of Levi, the Israelitish tribe of Levi. The Levites who descended through Aaron became the priest of Israel, and the other Levites filled lower places in the religious worship and services of the Israelitish nation and in the temple. Exodus 6:25, Numbers 3:5 to 4:49. All right, so then we're going to come here. Finish that off, right? To metaphysical. That so I can see metaphysical. The descendants of Levi represent thoughts that spring from and belong to the love faculty and individual consciousness. As ministers and priests in the temple and in the temple worship, they signify our natural religious tendencies, not necessarily spiritual. The priests and Levites of 1 Kings 8:4 symbolize our so-called natural religious tendencies. These officiate in the rites and ceremonies of the tent or tabernacle, and when the more permanent structure is to be built, they bring up all the quote-unquote holy vessels from that structure. We can thus understand why some persons are naturally of a religious turn of mind, though they may be born of worldly-minded parents. They carry over from a former tabernacle the results of exercising the mind in religious ways. Such results are symbolized by the priests and Levites. Thus, the savage, with his vague understanding of deity, may, by constantly repeating certain religious ceremonies, accumulate a religious tendency that will make him, quote unquote, naturally religious when he attains a higher plane of expression. This is also the basis of a formal religion where rites and ceremonies take the place of true spirituality. Ooh, this is also the basis of a formal religion where rites and ceremonies take the place of true spirituality.
Wow.
The priests, wow, I know. The priest and the Levite of Luke 10:31 through 32 typify forms of religious thoughts in man that follow the set rule pertaining to the letter, pertaining to the law, with little or no thought of its practical use, of its inner spiritual import.
Wow.
So then we're going to scroll down to 700. Oh, whoa, too far. Coming in high to page 773, right? And this just shows y'all where it says priests, see metaphysical, see Levites. We went there, but now we read you prophet from the one-on-one questionnaire. So now we're coming to the metaphysical prophet, one who receives the inspiration of spirit, understands spiritual law, and imparts it to others. The prophets of old seem to stand between God, the call upon, and the people. It was through them that the people received guidance. The prophets of old seem to stand between God, the call upon, and the people. It was through them middlemaning that the people received divine guidance. All right, so now come right here, come up. All right, so here we go. The prophet is that inness which discerns the working of the law. Transgress law bring its own punishment, and it is the prophet of the Lord that sees its outworking in our life. It is a prophet in us. It is a prophet in us. It is the prophet in us.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
That often warns and keeps us from transgressing the law because we discern what the results will be. Prophet, metaphysical, a teacher, one who receives the inspiration of spirit and understanding of spiritual law and imparts it to others. A prophet, an individual consciousness, is a thought that is in contact with spirit, that receives revelations direct from the Holy Spirit. Not from the priest. It knows and understands divine law and its working. Therefore, it warns and instructs the other thoughts. The prophets of old seem to stand between God and the people. It was through them that the people received divine guidance. Right. So that thought is like, hey man, be careful these other thoughts going on, man. They trying to middleman you. I think you can really connect for yourself. But hey, I'm just a warning. You ain't gotta listen to me. Right? A prophet, Matthew 21:4, is one who states the spiritual law. The prophets of Luke 16:29 represent divine law. The prophet of John 6:14 is the promise pertaining to God. All prophets false. Deceptive thoughts that have been built up by error, selfish desires. False prophets are the representations of deceptive religious thoughts. They seem innocent and harmless like sheep, but are in reality selfish and dangerous. Quote, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. Matthew 7:15. All right, Josh, so we're about to have a couple Bible verses, right? About to have some Bible study real quick.
Yes,
all right, so I'm gonna come out of here. So let me come back there. All right. Safari. Okay, here we go. So Matthew 21, 4 through 5. But let's just say 21 through 4. coming from the 1599 Geneva Bible. All this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, we got that one, and then we'll come to Luke 16:29, right? Because right there, oh, wrong one. The prophets of Luke 16:29 represent divine law. So, all right, this is divine law here. So Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. All right, so you know Moses and the prophets is you, happy within you, right?
Look at that. Islam. Surely Dordley is. That's why, you know, even when it says prophet is a thought of a law manifesting in flesh, that's why I was like, who isn't a prophet?
Right,
you know,
so now, where is that?
Kind of, you know, aggrandize themselves. I am the prophet such and such. It's like,
Okay.
when you get into metaphysics, you're less egotistical. You know, you're a lot less. It's almost little to no ego, actually. And all you can be is just straight up with yourself. However, usually those that have low self-esteem must esteem themselves highly with, you know, some title of some sort, you know what I mean? Other than brother or mother, I guess, you know. I think the highest title that anyone could ever want for the sons would be brother, and for the mothers, it would be mother. You know, a brother or son, or mother and sister. I mean, what higher titles can that be other than those? Everything else is corporate. Some body of people are asking you to serve them in that position. You know, if they want you to be a prime minister or some type of emperor, well, no, emperors would be people. So prime minister would be it. You know what I'm saying? Someone who is firstly ministering to the people on behalf of the people for the people. You know, other than that, everything else is just, like I said, the king is just a manager of a business, honestly. And everything else is just like aggrandizement, self-aggrandizement. Oh, I need to aggrandize myself so I feel important. Like, brother, I think is the best title ever. And son, you know what I mean? Because other than that, you're just not loved. You have no family, there are no loved ones. And then who are you really if you're no one's brother or son? What titles matter? You know what I mean? Anyway, I yield.
Islam, we got John 6:14, where he was the prophet of John 6:14 is a promise pertaining to God of the call upon. Then the men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus, just as the I am, did, said, this is of a truth that prophet, all thoughts of Allah manifested in flesh, that should come into the world. And then we got the Matthew 7:15, right? I'm even using it, the King James versions. Right? Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to stop the share there because I ain't done yet.
He ain't done yet.
He ain't done. All right, so now we're coming to chapter 10 of the Holy Quran. Chapter 10, but we're gonna skip. You know, make sure you read that. That whole one's a bomb dropper. All right, so we're gonna come to minutes or verse 20. When men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garbs and call them priests.
Do they?
And charge them to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayers, and when they fail to win his favor by their prayers, to buy him off with sacrifice of animals or birds. When man mind see Allah as one with him, as follow Allah, He needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. And when you take it back, what happened? The priest being the middleman, right? Or the ground between that and you.
Right.
He goes straight up to him and says, quote, "My Father God, Allah," end quote. And then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand, and all is well. And this is Allah. You are, each one, a priest just for yourself. And sacrifice of blood, Allah, all balance law pertaining to the zodiac, does not want. Just give your life in sacrificial service to all of life, and Allah is pleased.
Whoopie.
When Jesus had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove among themselves. Some said, quote unquote, "He is inspired by the Holy Brahm." And others said, "He is insane." And others said, "He is obsessed. He speaks as devils speak." But Jesus justice tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the words that Jesus spoke. And Jesus went with him and in his home abode. That was chapter 10. But hold on, not this yet. That's not this yet. We got the red book for you. Oh, yeah, we got the red book for you. The mysteries of the Sun Brotherhood of the East. Red. Right? And we're coming to, this is chapter 8, right? And then we're just going to jump to 17, just to smack you on the head again. Cool. Right? The priesthood cannot be reformed. It is already dead. The priesthood cannot be reformed. It is already dead. One more time. The priesthood cannot be reformed. It is already dead. Its greatest needs are graves, funeral chants, and I'm just going to add this in here, and Brother Hassan voice, and whatever colored noose they want to be hung in. The new age calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest, enables him to go alone and lay his offerings on the shrine of Allah. Let's go. And Caspar said, Kaspar said, in Persia, people walk in fear. They do the good for fear to do the wrong. The devil is the greatest power in our land. And though a myth, he dandles on his knees both youth and age.
Jesus, Santa Claus sounding like Christ. Okay.
And once again, Red Book, Quran 101, and the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary and Bible Gateway. You see, and Sean, why did you go read all that about priest and metaphysical and prophet? And why'd you go do all that? Because this is at the degree of a prophet of a new order. And, I'm going to quote Brother Jag here, the blind will no longer be leading the blind. And we just told you the priesthood been dead. And now this is at the degree of prophet of a new order. You better realize it within yourself. I hope you realize it within yourself. Right? And all right. So the question is here, how will ye, not you, right, be able to wake up within yourself, see the priest within yourself? And I'm already feeling that beings are going to start to slowly, if they haven't already been, realizing that they was their own savior the whole time. They were just fooled by wolves in sheep's clothing to make them think that they had to go through them to reach the source when they never needed that. But that was a hypnosis from generation after generation. It's like, well, my mom and them went to church, and they mom and them went to church, and their mom and daddy and all them went to church and did that. Yeah, cool, great. that just shows like how long the priests have been dead, but still been just agging on. You know, it's kind of like a mouse or something looking for food. So now this is an opportunity to have a lot of healing, right? I think beings are really going to start breaking apart and actually studying words and terms and what they truly mean. And it's definitely probably going to come from the younger of the family, because the older, they're just too stuck in their ways. You know, they're ain't really see anymore. And they still rather be led on than lead themselves. And it's like, you know, you can see, right? You know, you can just walk yourself. You don't have to have somebody else hold your hand, right? That's kind of, yeah. It's like a blind man, right? And, you know, needing assistance. But the whole time he can see. He just didn't want to tell nobody he could see. He just wanted help to use others. So coming out of that belief and coming into faith and knowing that you can save yourself and you never needed no one else to save you. So now, you know, I guess this is my call to action. Will you become the own Jesus that you seek? Right? Will you let that justice come down from the call upon to you so that now you can be peace and justice and move forward and not keep looking for something outside of you? And keep worshiping, devil worshiping a figure, idol worship, you know? And some the other day I'd seen too is like, Jesus died for our sins. It's like, lady, like, do y'all like? I was just sitting there and I was just reflecting, like, wow, like that hypnosis is so deep, like where beings are saying, well, this being from ever how long ago died for whatever everyone's gonna do wrong, so we can do wrong.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
mean, do you not see that, you know?
that sounds kind of selfish and irresponsible.
Very much so. And it's like, well, he did this, so I don't have to do that. And
Someone else be accountable for me? Yes, I don't have to be accountable.
Yes, I don't.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, it feels so much better. Somebody else is taking all of this and doing all this for me and everyone else, so we don't have to do it. But I still want to complain because nothing's changing. But you know, yeah.
Like we shared before, that copper tone skin can never be Christian. Ever.
Yeah, we can go there too. So you bet you can never. As much as you want to try and fight and get angry and cuss folks out who try to tell you and ignore it, it's gonna be that little small voice in your mind. It's like, hey,
like,
that's why you can't be Christian. And you'll be like, fuck what you talking about? Tell him I can't be Christian. It's the devil over here talking to me. Yeah, it's your lower self. You know, are you gonna hear that voice? Like, are you gonna? Anyways, that was a beautiful intro. So,
yes, indeed.
Yeah. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the main course of the Ramadan special by Brother Sean and Hassan. And bro, we'll be starting us out. You already know 1 through 3, 7 through 9. I got 4 through 6, 10 through 12. And here we go.
Let's get it.
And get you a full screen there. There you go. And I yield, bro.
Sagittarius zone it is for the 20th April 2023 on Jupiter Day for this particular zone. And it'll be Thursday. It is 0500 hours, 12 minutes and 30 seconds, so 5:12:30 anti-meridian near Moroba. All right. Moroba is where, bro? Does it say for you? Okay, I see it. Central African Republic. I see it right there on the left. Okay. So yeah, so look at that. So with that being said, guys, it is taking place here in the first house, right? 29 degrees Aries, as Brother Sean has stated, is prophet of a new order. And then the ruling planet Mars is in Cancer in the third house here. Conjunct Sirius, actually, at 13 degrees, which is business, right? So one of many business degrees, if I'm not mistaken, from about 12 to 16 is business-ish, right? So with that being said, and that's particularly what I mean, this 12 to 16 degrees Cancer is business. So And, just having some renown there in business or so to speak, or whatever venture that you're doing, especially those of you that are Cancer, ascendant, sun or moon, maybe, Cancer being your whole sign first house, Aries being your 10th, and you got a solar eclipse there pertaining to your career, so to speak, whole sign house career and standing. With that eclipse happening at the prophet pertaining to a new order, there can be some things where people will actually see, those of you that are particularly Cancers, all right? People may actually see that which you offer has been the answer for quite some time. People may have been seeing you for years and years, and may just now get the revelation when this takes place on the 20th. They're gonna be like, whoa, this was here the whole time. And then they're gonna go back and look at some of the work that you've done and actually realize that the answer was being given the whole time. So what will actually also take place for this particular zone, Sagittarius zone, for all the beings that are enjoying their life within this zone, right? You're enjoying it because you're breathing, right? So all you breathing within this particular zone, what will actually take place, you'll allow yourself to have a renewal. There will be this inner merger between you and your thoughts. And you will allow yourself to actively communicate that which is necessary for you to take care of your craft or / business is necessary to put yourself in a much better position. You will really allow yourself to be one who is very effective in the community, because now the community actually sees that you have been and are important for their development and growth for probably the next 25 years or so, just to be very honest with you. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, it should be the the Scorpio zone, right? If I'm not mistaken, Scorpio zone. Solar eclipse is going to take place in the second house here. Jupiter is ruling the ascendant here with this one. And Jupiter is clearly at 23 degrees Aries, right? So that means Jupiter was rising, Jupiter ascending for that first one near Moroba, all right, within the Sagittarius zone. So here in the Scorpio zone at about 0300 hours, 12 minutes and 30 seconds anti-meridian near Mindelo, right, Cape Verde, right? That's just off of the west coast of Alkebalan, which is falsely called in these contemporary times Africa, right? And so for those of you within the Scorpio zone, Mindelo, Cape Verde, what will actually happen means to really expand yourself, fortunately, will really be based on some delay pertaining to maybe even your health. Somebody had an appointment and you wanted to get something checked out, and what you'll actually realize is you were probably saved from getting some things that were done or planned to be done unnecessarily. Or you may have been told that you have cancer, and when you go to get it checked out, whatever it was, it's in remission. It is not there. So what I'll actually in this one is you'll actually find some value in really allowing yourself to no longer overindulge in your own ideas and your own mind. You're really allowing yourself to listen and be able to have some sudden changes that are necessary within your own thought process, so you can be actively creative in how you're going to handle your own mind's business. So with that being said, I would really give it for you to be very thorough in making sure you're very active and not overindulging in probably some sweets of something or some sort like that. For those of you that may have a little issue with sugar, so to speak, this is a means for you to really take the time to isolate those things that you eat that are really benefiting you and helping you and not giving you spikes in your so-called blood sugar levels. So really allow yourself to be wise in how you actually separate the things you like from the things you need. And with that, I yield the floor. Into the Libra zone we go. All righty. And this is going to take place in the third
Libra zone.
Islam. And Saturn and Uranus are ruling the ascendant here, while the solar eclipse is taking place in the third house. Someone may have a prophetic communication to give, or they may receive one. And with that being said, that prophetic communication will really allow oneself to get the essentials that one needs for themselves while making the sudden changes that are necessary in their own thoughts, communication, and within their home. One may be able to receive a prophetic message, so to speak, from their loved one near the Que Bracho Uruguay, right? Or maybe Cue Bracho or Uruguay. Some people say Uruguay. This is taking place about 0100 hours, 12 minutes and 30 seconds, anti-meridian. Kind of, I think BZ is Brazil time. So with that being said, all within the Libra zone, right? What you guys will be able to allow yourself to do is have a new sense pertaining to your outlook and even maybe even how you see your neighborhood. And siblings will play a very huge role here. You may find yourself in a situation where you and your siblings are kind of forced to work together. However, the sudden changes that are going to take place and you all grouping together to work together may be due to the fact that what's really on rise is possibly a loved one has transitioned. And, you know, you guys know I'm not a doom and gloom astrologer, or maybe there's an elder that can actually be helped by some occult service, so to speak, that most people would normally, you know, announce to the neighborhood. So, you know, if you're heavily someone who thinks that there's some type of religious, quote unquote, religious worshiping type of being, you may find yourself going outside of the confines of what you dogmatically believe in and actually tap into some occultist kind of activity in order to bring forth a very healthy outcome for an elder loved one who actually kind of already knows about it, but they've been that elderly loved one who's been kind of acting all holier than thou, and the whole time they probably been dipping and dabbing in some occult knowledge. And now they're really allowing, as some will say, brujería, right? Along with the astrologia, right? Or astrologia to come forth from their minds, be able to assist them further. And now others in the family will actually recognize, like, hey, whole time you've actually been into astrology and knew this and knew how to use these certain herbs and things of that nature. Well, how come, you know, you didn't say this as we were growing up? So you and your siblings may have to help grandma and grandpa out with some type of herb that will only have some certain reaction during some certain portion pertaining to transit pertaining to the moon. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, for the Virgo zone, Brother Sean Aline Mel. Hey, Malika.
Hey, brothers.
Hey, Malika.
Hey, what's good?
Gonna spend a few minutes with you guys.
Yeah, that's cool. No problemas.
Here we go. Moving on to the Virgo zone. All right, we're pulling up at Cochabamba, Bolivia. All right, occurring April 20th, 2023. All right, it's occurring at 12:30 anti-meridian. Old 1200 hour, 0 hours, 12 minutes, 30 seconds. All right, guys, we have Sol and Luna in the fourth house of home. We got Capricorn on the rise, so we got for this Virgo zone here. All right, we've got this new moon squaring your ascendant. So yeah, so I think for this area, right, you know, kind of parts of the East Coast, it's going to be very stimulating because people are going to really start having this healing fashion, right? This is in the fourth house, so it's dealing with home. So as we read earlier about the metaphysics and everything, it's like a new order in the house. It's someone just kind of standing up and saying, well, I'm gonna say that the so-called quote unquote black sheep of the family, right? So black means dead. But for the folks to get it, they're gonna just go with what they've known to be true, right? It's an opportunity to place intentions to free oneself from the mental bondage, and also just remove things from the self that don't serve any good, right? So 6, 7, 8, right? Souls over the eighth. Yeah, it just kind of be a new wave of effects of just seeing everything in a new light, as they would say. And there could be some communication here that could happen. Maybe from a distant family member, someone that you haven't met yet, or an elder, or someone just kind of around you in your, as they would say, like local neighborhood, all non-statutorily speaking. But they give you this conversation, like they give you a sense of value here. And what you could do here is either take that value that one is giving you, right? And I'm getting chapter 12 and the Holy Quran as well. When a guy was like, surely the miner must know, when he was toiling and didn't, was ready to give up. And yeah, and then you're able to have this rebellious kind of energy, or this moving away, this electrical jolt that goes through you. And now you're able to just be without the worry of being here, right? And it also could be restricting yourself on some things, right? So when it comes to letting go of things, or circumstances that no longer serve you, right? So you're restricting yourself on things that aren't for you. So now you can expand upon things that are for you, right? Mars in Cancer, Mars in the 6th. So yeah, service to the people. So businesses here, especially for those that like, oh well, I want to kind of start my home-based business. Do that, but I think a lot of beings, after of course, studying Seven Hill Star and Lawful Living and other sincere beings, they're gonna not register their shit with the state.
Not at all.
The so-called state. And it's like, you do that for the common good and for the people, and you're not doing it for the state so they can be all up in your business, right? And then you have to adhere to those things, right? So leave the no docs loan and everything else out, because that's is funding the enslavement of everyone. Giving these instruments to these beings, filling things out, or giving your energy back into a system that's only draining you. So beings are really going to remove themselves from being a service to the state and be more of a service to the people. 29 degrees is degree of collecting, right? Being ruled by Saturn the second. So able to collect some lost values, collect some lost estate. Collecting the title back to your vast estate that you lost from being under that hypnosis that hasn't served you. Anything else? Yeah. Pretty much it. So yeah, with that, I will yield for the Virgo zone, and we're gonna get on to the Leo. Right. Gonna let that light shine. Right. So we're at Red Lake Falls, near Red Lake Falls, Minnesota State Republic. And this is occurring on the Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. Occurring at 2300 hours, 12 minutes, 30 seconds, or 1112 post meridian. And we have the sun here and Luna in the 5th house. Guys, so when it comes to the 5th house, we think of creativity, children. So this will be very interesting for the little ones that manifest on this date. The 19th, 20th, around that time, right? With this airy and Arian and Taurian stellium. I'm moving along here. Yeah, I think there's going to be a new sense of joy, because I think when beings finally start to realize that they've been the ones, not to blame anyone else, but that they've been under hypnosis, they'll be able to let go of some things here.
I think they better let it
This
go.
is yeah, I think I need to let it go.
Real.
Right? Because this is some truth. TKO. Hey.
Serious.
Oh, Jag with the guitar. Yeah, this is a truth TKO here. Right? We're gonna knock your ass out with this truth. Actually, we ain't gonna knock you out, we're gonna knock you up into the truth. Right.
Okay.
So you fifth house, creativity is joy, right? So now the light is being shined upon what brings you joy in life and what doesn't bring you joy. And then you got to ask, well, what do most of us, here on Midgard, but really all of us are worried about when folks like, oh, bills, right? What was that Beyonce Destiny Child song? Can't pay my telephone bills, can't pay my automobiles, right? So when it comes to these bills, mortgages, utilities, services, and all that, things are going to start to realize we've been duped, that we've been played, but there's a way to get from that, especially when you're not using any of your energy or resources for a public use, right? So there's going to be a clear distinction that public and private don't mix, and that those beings posing as gurus and know-it-alls trying to get you to do processes that it's fraudulent in the first place. So how can you really authenticate something that was already fraudulent and not meant for you in the first place? And yes, you're gonna feel some kind of way. Well, my mama did this, or how I'm gonna. Hey, it's take a breath. Take a breath when you come across this. Take a breath, and instead of getting worked up on, all these other things, it's coming back into the service. And as I read earlier, right, with the priest, right, that. There's nothing wrong with going to the church, but realizing that you are the church and the temple, and that you can have a communion, a service with yourself, and then you can go to these buildings, these places to interact with others and uplift all of each other. But just going to church and letting yourself fall into the pits of the hypnosis, thinking that a being has to give you a word, that you have to go to someone else to get something directly from source. And that's just coming from all aspects, physical, spiritual, and the causal, all those different areas. So there's a change here in the home. There's new creativity. There's new ways to self-care for yourself and for others. And Mars is in the 8th, so business, so dealing with the resources. So with these beings that call themselves government that are holding the resources, they will start to see that they are not to tell the people what to do, but to be Jeffrey and get us what we need. And with that, I will yield us the floor. And moving on into the Cancer zone. All right, moving along to the 6th house here, right? And we're at Hiba Oa Island, French Polynesia, occurring on the Wednesday, Mercury day. Make sure you tune that day for the Astro Weather Report. All right. Occurring at 1800 hours, 42 minutes, 30 seconds, or 6:42 post meridian. All right. We have Scorpio on the rise, which is really beautiful here, right? This is Arian ruled, Arian sign, Eclipse, ruled by Mars. Mars ruling ascendant as well, right, from the 9th house. Yeah, so for you guys here near the French Polynesian area, all right, it's Cancer, and then 9th. Yeah, there's going to be a new sense of higher learning coming from the things that you already read. And I think once the universe is going to take the blinders off in whatever fashion But once those blinders, those covers are taken off, beings are able to really see that they was always connected to source and always understood the information, but they were just looking for something outside of themselves when they were supposed to look east and look within. And Jupiter is also expanding that too. Yeah, because this is coming off the sun. At first was it Kazemi with Chiron, and it's Kazemi with Jupiter. So now you're able to take that past pain, right? Generational past pain, and heal from that, expand the wisdom and the philosophy that you learn from that, and travel east, travel within with yourself. And now you're able to come at one and be at peace with your ego and subconscious, your mind and emotions. And once you become aware of that, you'll be able to be, for one, a better service to yourself. And then after becoming a better service to ourselves, we're able to become better service to others, to the collective, to our fellow brothers and sisters, mothers and sons. We're able to be better to them and our community, our neighborhood, and just humanity at large, because freedom is everybody's job, right? And with Mars ruling the first house and that's 6, you're going to find out that we're forever a mystery, that, a healing journey is like forever. You just don't conquer one thing and then it's done, right? It's a continual process. So with Scorpio ruling that, right? So getting this occult knowledge to understand yourself so that you can start also looking at different layers and teaching your little ones those different layers to assist them. And with that, I will yield the floor and I will give it back to the living master while he goes in on the Gemini zone.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Therefore, now within the Gemini zone, we clearly are here at Leon, Samoa, right? American Samoa, right? This is the 19th, however, when it's taking place, April 2023. That'll be a Wednesday for 1700 hours, 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So 5:12:30 post meridian for this particular zone. All right, so as we can see, Venus is ruling the ascendant here. And Venus's conditions, just in brief, she's just, there in the 8th house, right? She's usually have a, accidental dignity in the 2nd, therefore accidental debilitation in the 8th. So value communications could wait for a bit here. Wait about 2 hours to make, the communication that, is very valuable to make sure you give. You don't want it to fall on deaf ears. So allow yourself to be patient and very balanced in what it is that you want to share, right? So with that being said, within the 7th, right? Within the 7th house, actually, we have the solar eclipse taking place. Mars, of course, is there in the 10th house. Looky, astro cookie. So what Mars is bringing to the 7th is, the essentials that are necessary for one's standing. How's the relationship status? Well, the relationship status seems to be pretty new. So someone will be either commemorating an anniversary at this time, or there will be beings who seemingly seem incompatible, so to speak. Maybe a air sign with a water sign, or fire sign with an earth sign. However, where one's sun is where the other's moon is. And what will probably be recognized there, if one's do what I think would be healthy, is to get yourself, order your Mirror AstroLiteracy session. I'll go to 7healstar.com, sign up for our email list. All righty. And allow yourself, you and your loved ones, to have a Synastry mirror session. That's where you and your loved one or your potential consort can actually view each other and see what the inner aspects pertaining to one another's charts would actually bring forth. Also, with that being said, this will be a means to renew what both in the relationship have promised to bring to the relationship for each other. Some will say renewing the vows. And so I think here is where people can allow themselves to really have a new mindset in being more quote unquote breath descended, right? Spirituality is the art pertaining to the breath. Spiritual means that which is descended from breath. So here ones could actually allow themselves to probably get into a bit of asana in a way where what it actually does, maybe it's some relationship type of yoga. Ones could actually allow themselves to get involved in. What will actually occur though with that, it will probably be an inspiration where you and your loved one may be thinking about doing some quote unquote relationship counseling for other couples. So I can see that really coming to the forefront, because also with Venus in the eighth house, however, in Gemini, there may be love secrets that need to be communicated. However, people will only be able to really allow themselves to feel comfortable about communicating such by there being another couple who can help assess the communication discrepancies between two beings. And with that, I yield the floor for the Gemini zone. I want to take this on to the eighth house now, where the eclipse will take place within the Taurus zone.
Gemini wifey, you make my life complete, sweet. Be to me, see, that's why you're my wifey. I yield.
Because as you know, because you have my mind blown. All right, anyway. Hilarious, man. So in the eighth house here, right? Of course, Mars still ruling for this particular one because it's not an interception, right? So Mars is ruling the eighth house here, which is Mars is comfortable with the ruling the eighth house also, right? However, Mars is there in the 11th, and that's fourth from the eighth. So what needs to take place is finding a means to couch or make comfortable the joint financial energies between you and another. Maybe it's you and a potential loved one. Maybe you mothers and your you mother mistress consorts have now found a way to help manage the sun master consort with his finances, and found a way to actually allow that so-called quote unquote financial energy, right? Allow that energy to be, put in places that will actually benefit you and maybe a large group of beings, or maybe some others' children. So charity for children is really what I can see happening here. And I think it's going to happen with a couple doing so, right? There may be some so-called spiritual couples that may lead congregations or other groups, so to speak, and they may be able to gift, to the community in a way that beings within their community abroad will be able to actually help their children to do some other things. So I think this is where people will actually see, maybe someone will be kind of giving a scholarship kind of energy to other people's children so that they can expand the learning and the knowledge that needs to be poured out. Maybe there's some child that's interested in running their own venture, so to speak. And something as small as a couple giving a juicing machine to a child who wants to run their own maybe lemonade stand or juice stand, preparing for the summertime. That contribution will be made with no problem, especially with the moon there conjoined with the sun, providing the eclipse. And if I'm not mistaken, this eclipse will be able to actually be seen from most parts of the North Gate here in North America. Some will be able to really see this. And this is actually taking place near Caledonia, right? New Caledonia, right? Theo, right? Interesting. Theo usually deals with God. God knows to call upon, right? So here in this particular calling, ones will be able to inherit or give an inheritance forth to someone or someone else's child that will allow that child to move forward and be comfortable alrighty, and how they're going to set themselves up for the honor and renown that they'll receive due to them being able to manage their energies and providing their community, that which is necessary for not only for themselves, but maybe for some refreshments too. Hence why I was bringing up the lemonade stand and or the juice bar, right? So with that being said, guys, just really allow yourselves. It's interesting how, because Moon being in Aries and Mars being in Cancer, there's a mutual reception between Moon and Mars, right? Sun still in its exaltation. So with that mutual reception, this will be also a means where within this Taurus zone, people will be able to get things that, say it was something expensive and they was like, how am I going to get this? And all of a sudden there's this huge donation and or grant that actually comes forth to those that were looking for the equipment to move forward in their craft, idea, or venture. So with that, I yield the floor. And lastly, we have the Aries zone, right? This is taking place in the 9th house. That means when it comes to higher learning pursuits, there will be some new beginnings here in higher learning pursuits with the eclipse taking place in the 9th house. Interestingly, the 9th house cusp is about on where it was when I did the 1st house, when the eclipse is taking place in the 1st house, right? And with that being said, what we could actually see here with Mars, interestingly, in the 11th, what we could actually see take place here, wow, it's still in the 11th. I think anyone that's embarking on learning a new language, that's a language that's foreign to the language that they speak, they will have some success in not only getting that class started, however, they will be matched up with someone who teaches it in a way that is very beneficial to them. They're really going to enjoy the class, and it may actually spark a means for them to, in about a year and a half or so, to actually find a way to teach the foreign language themselves. So I really see that you guys have a really great opportunity here. And opportunity just means an open door, right? So there's a green light here for those of you that would like to actively secure a means for you to find yourself settled somewhere. However, that settlement is going to take place due to the mutual reception that the people abroad will actually see what it is that you're looking to gain. And they'll see that what you're looking to gain will eventually be something that you can offer to others as others are offering to you. So really allow yourself to really get all the knowledge that you can. And even if this is you learning a foreign language, you're not actually there on site, so to speak, or on the campus where it's being learned. Really allow yourself to isolate the means for you to just zone on out into your internet class there. All right, so that you can be able to get everything that it is that you need. If you think the foreign language that you're learning is jurisprudence, all right, what you can do is really allow yourself to go and review all that which you need pertaining to jurisprudence electronically, and you will actually see that when you finally link with others, for example, like at the jurisprudence gym and lawful living, what you could actually do, right, is allow yourself to no longer be nervous about if the people will be accepting of you, because that's not what it's really about, as much as you taking yourself serious in moving forward in those endeavors in which you have embarked upon, so to speak, or you have made the decision to take on. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother in whom I am well pleased, Brother Sean Aline L. Islam.
Islam, bro. Gratitude indeed. Let's move along here to Pisces zone. Wait, Udon. Say Udon, Cambodia.
Hey.
All right. And we're at the 10th house. This is occurring at 2300, actually, nope, 1112 anti-meridian. All right. 10th house, guys. So let's see. Their 10th, Mars is in the 12th. All right, so there's going to be a new sense of authority or learning of one's status when it comes to the 10th house. When we think of authority, right, reflecting in the home life. So this is a status away from the home when we step outside of the home. Mars is in the 12th, so that is Luna's ruling the chart, right? So yeah, the light is being shined more of a sense of nature, sense of purpose here. As I said earlier, right? Moving from things that no longer serve us. So for the Moorish Americans, right, diluting to the terms that dilute to slavery, such as Negro, colored, Black, African American, and then even for beings that think they're so-called white, even realizing that they were never white, so that now everyone can respect each other as we are all here on Earth, Midgard, to help and serve and uplift each other, and not calling each other crayons, right? Respecting and loving each other. So I'm gonna say here, if you got hate in your heart, let it out. Because I know a lot of, let it out. If you want to cry, punch in the air, go take your so-called firearm in the woods and shoot it. However, however that you
come pick up a papaya. I'm
that
gonna
you
be on call if they come.
Papaya too, if you like. Yes.
Papaya, yeah.
It's funny how he said punching the air though. It made me think of Boys in the Hood. I thought that was so
There's some right here.
Made me think
inside the community room by the door.
Seriously. Share your papaya.
Two in particular.
Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. Papaya.
Share your papaya.
I planted papaya seeds last autumn, and people are coming to pick them up so they can have papaya plant babies too. So I didn't know I was off mute.
No worries. It's no worries. Stick around.
Excellent. Luna's running the chart. So there's gonna be a new sense of purpose here. Moving in a new direction here, right? Like the group, right? New direction. Pardon me. You move in a new direction with the new addition of understanding that you have now, because you're learning about status. And once you learn about status, you're going to learn about authority. And then you're going to start to see who has authority and who doesn't, and then who has been assuming authority. And you probably say, wow, I've been giving my authority, my power away. Well, let the past be the past, right? And now that you can step into the affairs of men, because now you're realizing that that those that are governing, that those in authority, are those that are experts in fame. We talked about earlier, sheep's and a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Accepting that and just knowing that the people can change and has the right to abolish or reform all forms of government, right? And then you're going to ask, where's my consent to be, governed? But this is an opportunity to move forward so that beings can start to, quote unquote, police themselves, but, take care of their own neighborhood, just like how they do with, Amish, right? How they take care of their family and handle their things. Beings are going to see that it's meant for them too. But in order to come to that, they have to let go of what's no longer serving them and the people. And that's the mindset of killing, stealing from others, and all those other things that are not, as some would say, high vibrational energy, but loving energy. And moving away from that. Mars is in the 12th. So, yeah, a lot of realization in the home, spirituality. So, getting in, once again, learning about the true nature about breath work, and realizing that when you go to the church, it's good to commune, but you take that drive and ambition, fire that you feel from there, and you take it home and teach it to your loved ones, and truly embrace the breath work and proper ideals for that, so that you're not, as they would say, being lost in the sauce, right? When it comes to the church and religion, right? Jupiter is ruling over 9, Jupiter's in Aries, right? So we'll see lawyers, right? I'm getting someone's, probably been paying attention. Well, we already know they've been paying attention, but someone's like gonna ask, the so-called attorney, who died? Why are you here? Right? And finally, I will say is there. And just focus on a lot of healing. So looking to take care of oneself, and that is by reading books, like law books, holy books, and kind of breaking away from the norm of the daily routine, right? And breaking to something that's more worthy, more worthwhile to you. And with that, I will yield the floor. Now we're gonna go to what the heck? The Aquarius zone. All right, in the 11th house, and we are pulling up to Lahore, Pakistan. Right, occurring on April 20th, 2023, Thursday. Sun and moon is in the 11th house. Gemini is on the rise here, so Mercury is ruling that from the 11th and also ruling the 4th house, right? So 11th house, there's going to be those, oh my gosh, I just got like the Tower card, but it was like the falling of all these ministries and churches and everything else falling
No
down.
more chickens for the churches. No, I'm joking.
Pardon me. Yeah, Tower moment. Got that, and 29's sun degree. So a lot of ministries. And it's already too late. They can't even clean up their act. So now beings are going to take it upon themselves to impart the truth. With that creativity. So maybe we see a new wave of technology creation, or beings just working together, right? It's kind of like the blood in the crypts, shaking hands, and instead of fighting and killing each other, they're working together because they're realizing that they're not the enemy. Beings that come into their neighborhoods, setting up these stores or policing and stealing and all that is, if you want to take that as the enemy. So coming together for a greater cause, a greater, higher cause. Mercury's and Taurus look like it's definitely slowing down. About to do his little retrograde shadow. We'll probably check that, right? First and fourth. So yeah, there's a lot of communication. So maybe there's a lot of nervousness when it comes to wanting to move forward, or kind of leaving things that you're used to come to something foreign. But with proper planning and just even speaking, right? Or just being open to something different from what you're used to, if you truly want that change, you'll be able to start calculating or pinpointing different things from the early home life, or just from the mother of children. And then when you're looking at yourself, revealing yourself in a loving way, and you're able to just chat and let go. And once you embrace some different knowledges, which you knew to be true, or you were kind of just a little uncomfortable about, as bro was saying earlier, because you didn't know how people are going to look at you. And, I'm going to quote Brother Jagger, fuck what other people think, right? Embrace you, right? Your uniqueness, your individuality. But at the same time, taking that I am identity, that Christ conscious, and putting it into the service for the greater good of all. Right. And yeah, there's change coming 23. Jupiter is expanding that to conjunct his own part of victory. So there's a lot of windfalls, winning wins coming. Right. A lot of expansion, able to meet new connections, beings who are different walks of life will be able to have conversations without judging each other, or one trying to say this is better than that. And because they're going to realize it all stems to one root and one foundation, right? One seed, but it just grew into trees with multiple branches. And yeah, being able to see that everyone, not judging others for their belief or their faith, because it's the same as yours, it's just in a different mix. And with that, I will yield the floor. And finally, there we go. What's that one? Oh, Capricorn, there we go. Coming into the Capricorn zone, right? Ashmira, Eritrea. So I'm saying it right. It sounded good coming off. Ashmira, Eritrea. All right, occurring on the third. Huh?
Usually someone from Eritrea, is their appellation is Yodi. So that's why I say shout out to all the Yodis out there.
Islam, shout out to all the Yodis.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out 70 Hill Star, because I'm here with my Brodies.
Indeed, Islam, yeah.
Oh, these beings trying to talk to you with no consent? They don't know, they don't want it.
Indeed.
Antoine. So shout out to the Yodis out there. 12th house, right? We're thinking of spirituality, thinking of what's hidden, even limiting beliefs. So with this prophet of a new order energy, you're able to take that old mind and release things so that you can step into this new mind. So it's kind of like, you started one process, like a caterpillar, you went through your stages, and now you're breaking free, letting that new you lead the way, that higher you lead the way. Venus is in the first house in Gemini, right? And also ruling the sixth house, first in the sixth, right? So seeing probably like some parents, like maybe beings are starting to look to go more natural, right? Leaving the makeup alone.
Hey.
And then just embracing that natural beauty look. And maybe beings are looking to not, get so much body work done to them, right? Because I think it's more of a disservice to themselves than they're thinking that it's a service to others for image, right? So yeah, there's a lot of images being cleared as well too. Social status, right? Or just let's see, the values of your followers, yeah. So it'll take away some things. Mars is in the third. So a lot of communications, a lot of short travels. So maybe someone's gonna get a trip paid for them, or kind of like a spa day service.
Somebody about to get flued out. Let me stop with
you. Get flued out, right? Taken care of, wine and dine, as they would say. Even making some changes to like their menu, their beauty menu, adding more products or taking away products and bringing in a bunch of new things. Let's see, Eros is there too. Able to have some chats with their lover, right? Or even being gifted something from like a secret admirer type energy, right? For that, Chiron's there too, victory. So yeah, getting like someone winning some battles in private, right? And maybe you're just even keeping it to themselves. And finally, let's see, Mars is 7th house too. So yeah, teaching one's partner or business partner about some things. And let's see, Mars in Cancer. Yeah, letting the fire, the drive, the passion be for equality, be for the better good of all, right? And I'm give me 1 second. I just had that thought. To go to the Quran. So I'm gonna go to right, the unity of rich and poor. The Holy Unity of the Rich and Poor, chapter 27. All right, so what verse? All right, here we go. We're gonna come to 7. We're gonna read a couple. 7. He considers the superfluities of his table as belonging to the poor of his neighborhood, and he defraudeth them not. The benevolence of his mind is not checked by his fortune. He rejoiceth therefore in riches, and his joy is blameless. But woe unto him that heapeth wealth in abundance, and rejoiceth alone in the possession thereof, that grindeth the face of the poor, and considereth not the sweat of their brows. Yes. 14, look at that. Oh, what are the miseries of poverty in comparison with the gnawings of this man's heart? Let the poor man comfort himself. Yes. Rejoice, for he hath many reasons. He sitteth down to his morsel in peace. His table is not crowded with flatterers and devourers. He is not embarrassed with a train of dependents, nor teased with the clamors of solicitations. Debarred from the dainties of the rich, he escapeth also their diseases. The bread that he eateth is not so sweet to his taste. The water he drinketh is not so pleasant to his thirst. Yeah, far more delicious water than the richest draughts of the luxurious. His labor preserveth his health, and procureth him a repose, to which the downy bed of sloth is a stranger. He limiteth his desires with humility, and the calm of contentment is sweeter to his soul than all the acquirements of wealth and grandeur. Let not the rich, therefore, presume on his riches, nor the poor in his poverty yield to despondence, for the providence of Allah dispenseth happiness to them both. All right, and with that, I will yield the floor, and I will bring us back here.
Wow.
Anybody in the live chat with us before we?
Oh no, I'm like we got skedaddles. It is what it is, man.
Indeed.
Especially just comes in, comes out. Just sticks around for a bit. Her and Sunny probably just got finished doing their exercises. Probably link up with her after this anyway. Probably link in the Zoom for a bit.
Send me the chat.
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right. Islam, the Spartacus in the chat says peace and love. We got Open 642 that says greetings. Jadon L. Islam kin folks. Islam to you, bro. I create great day hairs. Derek Blash Bay, greeting everyone. Islam to you. Open 642, Doctrine of Discovery. Jadon L. What an exciting time to be alive. Very much so. And Open 2, Chrysalis. Yes.
Indeed. And thank you to you guys. I forgot who said it when I was saying out the day. The brother that speaks calmly to the policy enforcers, and you guys put Kendrick. It was Kendrick Curry. Yeah, that those videos are pretty funny, actually, because those policy enforcers be so turned up, and something he just be, why do I have to give my ID? Like that, he's so funny. God, that's just hilarious. It tickles me so much. That's so freaking hilarious. But hey Tyro, peace and love to you also, and hey JM. I'm going to check out that those links, JM, in that email I forwarded to the bros, and see what it is that you're speaking about there also. However, you guys know I've been kind of up early last couple of days actually. And with the new addition to our lovely sentient beings right here, just been kind of really just focused on mommy and baby. That's really where I've been, while also still making sure I'm up on being the AstroCivician that I always am, right? However, all of that goes together for me. you know, because the goal is quote unquote family, you know, non-statutory family. That's the goal. So I trust that everyone out there, you know, get to meet that goal, especially, you know, you say you're Moorish American. That's the goal, to be able to have your loved ones together and you all be able to take what it is that you know to assist your loved ones, right? And be able to do that without any issue or any qualms, so to speak. However, I like to thank you all. I'd like to say to go to sevenhillstar.com. If you haven't signed up for our email list, do so. There's an email that comes out every Thursday morning. And within it will be the videos and other goodies, other links you can click on, the purple hyperlinks that are there, where you guys get your hands on other things or see other videos that are there. But the main two videos is the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report. And this presentation will be in there also. And share it with your loved ones. Don't be afraid to share that email on out to your loved ones so people can see what it is. Guys, schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions. That's what I really just even say it more plainly. That's what I see coming up for me personally, how that eclipse is affecting me. I see a large boost in querents, right? Querents is astrological clientele, so to speak, right? And I'm putting non-statutory, you know, quotes up for that. And I think it's going to boost for 7 Heel Star just in general. You guys can get many different types of readings and reports. The ones I usually suggest that people start out with first is the Mirror AstroLiteracy session. So you can get your self-reflection on first, so, you know, you can really comprehend it. However, I do mirror sessions with couples. Also, we're all certified to do that because, again, utilizing our own free national press and our own protocol. And as you guys will go see on the website, you know, the different classes that we have there, those classes are still available, you know, so you guys don't have to just, you know, you guys don't just have to get a session with us. You can actually take those classes and on your own time because they're already archived also. You know, it's just that the intensive is intense. And normally, you know, people that want anybody that's working on an astrology intensive to be 7 Heel Star certified, that's kind of rigorous because, you know, you must be Moorish American for real in order for me to even consider that. To be very honest with you. And then that's why we provide all the other classes that are archived. And you guys can exchange your elementary tuition for those also. Make sure you guys get your mental magician reports also. Those are just as important as the Mirror Astro Literacy session. So you can grasp how you think. Brother Sean puts together phenomenal reports. He gave you a taste of that, his report skills when he did the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report this past Wednesday. Right. And him putting reports together to really showcase and show you guys his talents when it comes to putting together reports. When these reports are tailor-made for you, I'm telling you, you guys will actually see and realize some things and actually get a lot of closure. That's one thing that I have been experiencing when I give reports also. People are really getting closure. The Mental Magician report, however, there's samples that Brother Sean has done, samples for Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, and LeBron James. And you guys can see those Mental Magician reports, and they're downloadable also for you to see exactly what it is. So go and have some fun on 7heelstar.com. All right. And with that, I would also like to say, guys, One Heart Supplements on Instagram, guys, and order your CMOS from Brother Corey Bay. Brother Corey Bay is not only a yoga teacher and Reiki master himself, too, like Brother Sean's a Reiki master also. You know, because that's, you guys, there's a lot of things we don't mention about us at 7 Heel Star, guys, and you can really benefit from them. I just know in these days and times, and I really don't care. However, there's so many people that are so woke and conscious and spiritual, and it's like, we actually know we're the center to a lot of that. A lot of people try to run their own little astrology businesses and other, you know, little CMOS pills businesses because they're watching us And they'll take even what we have there in Prophet Noble Drali University, because we're doing the right thing with our energy. And they'll try to make something of their own and be of something somewhere else. And they always fall on their sword, right? So what we're saying here is we're just putting the genuine word out there, guys, that you can really take advantage of this solar eclipse that's approaching, and make sure you come and enjoy us, man. You know what I mean? And I've been having so much clarity and seeing what's going to occur, especially with me fasting. And I'm enjoying this Ramadan, actually, because I have a clarity that is just unmatched from any other, fasts that I've taken on. And I just really see you guys enjoying learning astrology via your own self-reflection session. So make sure you schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions. Either I, Brother Corey Bay, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, Brother Sean Aline L, and as I said before, or I, Brother Hassan Ghaziel Bay. I will also say, guys, you need your Astro Civics concept corrections, guys. Remember, Brother Aura and I are still having those AstroCivic concept corrections sessions, especially for you Moorish Americans that are out there that really are sincere about making sure you're honing in on being sharper in your concepts. Even though we give a lot every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, right? We know that Monday and Wednesday is more astrology, whereas more civics on Fridays and Sundays, right? Mondays and Wednesdays, more astrology. Fridays and Sundays, more civics. Even though altogether, I can't really, in my thinking, separate them at all. So with that being said, are there any other questions, comments, and or suggestions to you guys? Right? He said New Life does that. Indeed, Jadon. Seriously, right? Anybody? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice? Well, guys, this is where I am going to yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Aline L.
All right, thank you all for showing up today. Comment, chat with us.
Yes.
Every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Indeed, indeed.
Y'all enjoy the rest of your moon day. Make sure you tap in with us in Lawful Living tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And everyone at the Jurisprudence Gym.
Yeah. And this is where we say Islam, peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace.